Hello, I am from International Scientific Research and Publications. In this video, I am going to explain you how to write a strong thesis statement. In this video, I am going to explain you the 4 steps which will help you to write a strong thesis statement. So let's get into the video. Okay, these are the 4 steps which will help you to write a strong thesis statement. Step 1. Ask a question. Step 2. Create a declaration. Step 3. List 3 reasons why. Step 4. Combine and write your thesis statement. Before that, let us discuss about what is a thesis statement. A thesis statement comprises 1 or 2 declarative sentences that summarize the main point of a paper or a piece of writing, such as an essay. A thesis statement identifies the topic to be discussed, as well as the purpose of the paper itself. Most importantly, a study thesis statement clearly makes an assertion and communicates to the reader the position the author has taken on the topic. Due to its nature as a condensation of the argument or analysis to follow. The thesis statement is commonly placed in the opening paragraphs of the paper. Let us discuss about the step 1. First step, a common starting point for developing a thesis statement is with the research question. Once you determine what is your research question is, you can start doing more targeted research to help with constructing a thesis statement. And the second step, which is you have to create a declaration on your question. Which means once the research question has been identified, preliminary research on the topic can begin. The research should help you to construct a tentative thesis statement. At this stage, researchers will most likely to have only a simple thesis statement. The rough draft of the thesis statement can serve as a tool for planning and guiding the research and writing process. If your writing is expected to take a position on the issue addressed in your research question, the tentative thesis statement should expressly indicate your stand as well. For instance, based on the example standard above, a working argumentative thesis statement would be: Brexit was driven by Britain's immigration worries. Let us go to the third step, which is you have to state or list 3 reasons why the situation happens, or the evidence and the reason for you that should support your statement. At this stage, the research process begins in earnest. The thesis statement serves as a guide and a starting point for the research process. Researchers can use existing research literature to gather the information they need to support their statement or argument. Throughout the research process, as they discover supporting evidence and facts for their thesis, researchers can also further develop and refine the tentative thesis statement. The final thesis statement should include the key points of your argument along with your conclusion if needed. And the fourth step, which is you have to combine and write your thesis statement. This step can prove to be useful if you are using an argumentative thesis statement. Anticipating potential counter arguments to your research will help you further refine your thesis statement. Aside from adding a level of complexity to your thesis statement, these counter arguments also help you develop your key arguments to make them stronger. The exercise of coming up with counter arguments to your thesis statement also helps you to determine the validity of your thesis statement. If your thesis statement does not have a counter argument, it may be a fact or an opinion and it may need to be revised. Okay, let us know what makes a strong thesis statement. A strong thesis statement is original and novel. Generic or formulaic thesis statement should be avoided, if only to ensure that you sustain the reader's interest throughout the study or research. Your thesis statement should be constructed so that it reflects your original ideas. Moreover, strong thesis statement present original or new aspects of the topic or shed light on the novel arguments. And the second one, which is a thesis statement, should be clear and specific. Thesis statement should be constructed so they can be specific and direct to your point. Your thesis message should be clear enough to remove any ambiguity about the purpose of study of the paper. The thesis statement should also clearly state your main argument or your stand on the issue and research discussions. The way a reader understands exactly what you mean what they read your thesis statement. And the third thing, which is the most important thing which makes the strong thesis statement, is contentious. An important factor to keep in mind when creating a thesis statement is that a thesis statement needs to be contentious or debatable. Thesis statements are not simple statements of fact. They make an argument or an assertion about a topic. Strong thesis statements are claims that need to be supported by evidence and analysis. One way to test if the thesis statement is wrong or valid is to see if you can come up with counter arguments to your own thesis statement. As stated above, a thesis statement with no corresponding counter arguments may merely be a statement of fact. Here there are examples of weak and strong thesis statement. A weak thesis statement will be, let us read one example. There are various factors that are encourage the spread of locavore movement in the United States, which is not a weak. This is a weak statement which does not specify a specific point. But let us read this strong thesis statement. While the locavore movement promotes globally ecology, the health benefits of a locavore diet played a key role in the locavore movement increasing popularity in the United States. So this statement is explaining much more content than this weak statement, so that this is a strong statement. So here there are many examples. You can able to understand what is a thesis statement, and you can able to find out what is a weak thesis statement and a strong thesis statement. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon.